Hello, Dijon here. In the video game portion of episode 129 of the Mustercast, we discuss Xbox lowering the price of their games, rumors of a DC Comics live service game, Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls Beginner's Guide, Blade being a Marvel Rivals, and Nintendo's partner showcase. Please enjoy. Moving on to video games. So what have you been playing lately?
So this I have had time for because video games, you can pick them up, put them down, whatever. I've been kind of slowly getting back into Lives of P by myself, and thinking about tossing around the idea of starting my own file, because I've just been thinking about it a lot. It's a really good game, and Bloodborne is too hard for me, so. Lives of P is kind of on my docket. It's on my radar. I might start my own file, and I also might get it on our PS4 so that we can, play it a lot easier. Because right now I have it on PC, and it's nice, but it kind of runs like trash, and a little sad, But
Lies of P is on
Lives of
PS4?
P, yeah.
Oh. I didn't know this.
I know. At least I think it is. I remember seeing it in the store.
I mean, I wouldn't be so completely surprised, but
yeah, it's on PS4.
But yeah, I had removed it from the notes because I just didn't feel like talking about it, or I also didn't feel like cleaning up the notes for it. But there was some previews for an upcoming action game called. Damn, I can't remember what it's called. I'll edit in what it's called, but it's
Okay.
It's the hold on, I have to look it up because why am I forgetting what this game's called?
Okay.
Phantom Blade Zero. That's the game.
Oh.
Which is the developers say that it has Souls-like level design, but the combat is inspired by Devil May Cry and Ninja Gaiden, or not Ninja Gaiden, Metal Gear Rising Vengeance. Which sounds like the best of both worlds, the best of both worlds. And that conversation was going to lead to me saying that the only other Souls games other than Elden Ring that I am actually interested in, and I think I might end up liking, are Lies of P, Bloodborne, and Sekiro. So I might get around to those eventually. Trying them out at least, especially Bloodborne, because Bloodborne is on PS Plus, so I can check it out that way.
Yeah, I really love Bloodborne. I am just not good at Souls likes, and that is the only barrier to entry for me. It's I am stuck on the cleric beast. My friend had to come over and show me how to beat it, and I still haven't done it anyway. So we might be stuck forever. We'll see. But beyond Lies of P and Bloodborne, Patapon 1+2 Replay released. I want to say a couple weeks ago, and I finally got it, and I've been playing it, and it is so much better than the PlayStation remasters that they did, the ones on PS Plus. And I don't know how or why it's better, but it just is. You would think that they would just kind of.
I mean, these are actual remakes, right?
Yeah, they're not really. It's complicated because it's they have a couple elements of what a remake would have. So a difficulty slider, the graphics are updated, especially because I have the Nintendo Switch edition, so they have to change all the buttons and what those look like. So I assume everything's redrawn. But the difficulty slider 1 and 2 are bundled, and so I guess there's a little change in that way. The saving works a little different, and your save files are actually named, which is really helpful. But other than that, it still plays exactly the same as the remaster on PlayStation, and to an extent, the original on PSP. And so it feels familiar, but it's just slightly different in enough ways that I'm not sure how to classify it.
There's just a bunch of quality of life changes. I mean, this version of the game is also available everywhere else.
Yep, PC, Switch, Xbox, I think. Yeah, but it's really good. It's a really good. I'm enjoying it a lot more now that I can actually play the game and play through it and not fight for my life the whole time during this really, really fun, really, really quirky rhythm game. And it makes me excited to play 2 and 3 because I'm going through 1 right now. I got stuck on the PlayStation version of 1 in this one level. It's really hard. It's infamously hard, but I'm already approaching that level now, and I've only been playing this edition of the remake like for 2 days. So the difficulty sliders work exactly as that was hoping that they would. And
That's
that's
good.
great.
That's good.
Yeah, yeah. It lowers the barrier to entry a lot, and I really appreciate that. Um, what else? What else? There was another game. Oh, I found on the eShop. I was looking through the Nintendo eShop just for the kicks and giggles. To see if there was anything new to play, and I found this game called I can't remember what it is off the top of my head completely, but it's like The Aquarium Does Not Exist, and it's like an RPG Maker game. And I haven't played a good RPG Maker horror in a really, really long time. So I bought it on a whim, which I never do for video games. Like I had to do a whole bunch of extensive research first, but I was like, this looks like something I would like. And so I bought it. And I haven't played much of it, but I really, really like it so far.
Cool. I'm always playing Marvel Rivals. I always find some time for that. Trying to get back up to Gold 1, which tends to be my barrier. I get to Gold 1. It's hard to get to Platinum 3, but I'm gonna get there eventually. But seasons are shorter too, so it's like I gotta really grind if I want to try to get to Platinum 3. But like I never thought I'd be into playing ranked in this game, but then I started and I can't stop. It's fun. I love the challenge. But yeah, I feel like towards the end of a season is when I get kind of sweaty, and I'm like, okay, I'm at this rank, and I need you guys to not be ass because the season's almost over, and I'm not trying to get deranked before the season's over.
Like I need to lock in.
But yeah, but towards we're in the middle of the season, new season's about to start. I'll talk more about that later, or not new seasons, the second half of the season's about to start. So I'm like, okay, I'm in a comfortable spot where I can just play and rank up and not take it too serious yet. Still playing Dunk Combinats. Real fun. Good game. Great game. One of these days I'll have to bring it in so you can check it out. It's real fun.
Yeah.
But I also got a Ninja Gaiden Ragebound on Switch because that came out a few weeks ago. You'll hear people tell you not to get it on Switch because it's only 30 frames per second. Guess what? I don't notice frame rates. I don't notice frame rates if it's 30. If it's 30, I'm fine. I'm good.
Right.
If it's below 30, I'll notice. But if it's over 30,
yeah, it's like hold on.
I don't tend to know. Like maybe if I was playing Marvel Rivals and it was like 30 frames per second, I'd probably be upset. But like I also play like I'm a single player dude, so I'm not worried about frames. I'm worried about how pretty the game looks most of the time. As long as it's not abysmal.
Exactly.
As long as it's not like stuttery damn near, like I'm fine. 30 frames is good enough for me as long as it looks good. And this is also a game that is pixel art. I don't care. 30 frames per second is fine.
Right. That's one of the things that really pisses me off about the frames per second crowd, where it's like they'll be like, this game is only this many frames per second, and it's like my brother
and it's
my brother
Patapon.
In Christ, the game is pixels. It's exactly. Although I will say the Patapon 1+2 does run at a higher frame rate. I can tell. I usually I can't. I can tell. It's like a lot smoother, and it kind of threw me off when I first saw it, and I was like, why I look like that? But the game I think of in particular is Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door. When the remake for that came out, people were like, it's not 60 FPS.
It's a turn-based RPG.
What do you need all those frames for?
What do you need an extra 30 frames for a turn-based RPG for? It's not like you have to have quick reaction time. Well, you do technically.
Right.
But you don't need... I was saying Paper Mario you do, but you don't need to like... It's not that serious for a Paper Mario in the Thousand Year Door.
And then like, I don't think the original was 60 frames per second either.
I mean, I get people wanting to be better than the original, but like I just 60 has become the default for a lot of people, and I get that. But like, it's not that serious. For some games, it's not that serious. Really but yeah, moving on to gaming news, The Outer Worlds has lowered their price from $80 to $70. This is coming from Windows Central and Wario64 on Twitter. They said, we are focusing on bringing players incredible worlds to explore, and will keep our full-priced holiday releases, including The Outer Worlds 2 at $69.99, in line with current market conditions. Bullying corporations works, and we should keep doing it. Like we did with Sonic. Yeah, and it looks like Xbox is completely walking back the entire $80 games campaign. Thank God, because like that was stupid.
Good. It was very stupid.
Nobody can afford that. Okay, we can barely
Right.
afford 70. It should be 65 max. If I'm being real, like
Yeah.
I'll give you that extra $5, but 70 is outrageous. Okay, plus
It
tax.
really
When I bought goddamn Donkey Kong plus tax, it was like damn near $80. It was like 79 something and some change.
right.
I
For
was
a
like,
Donkey Kong
I
game.
saw that and I was like, oh,
Ridiculous.
I was like, Jesus Christ, why is this game so
Yeah,
expensive?
it's like it makes me not want to play video games anymore. I'm like, it's an expensive hobby. And it
Yeah,
didn't used to be.
it's wild. And it's crazy because Clear Obscure was like $40, and
Right.
that game
It's
feels like it should be 60 at least. um,
it's like it always feels like games that are really, really good are like undersell themselves so much, and games that are not that good are always like way overpriced. It's insane.
I feel like if you're releasing the same game every year, it shouldn't cost. It shouldn't be full price.
I'm saying.
We're talking about you, Call of Duty, but anyway.
Yep.
So WB Games Montreal is making a AAA live service game based on an iconic DC property. Uh, this is coming from Shahir Razid at Tech for Gamer. Tech for Gamers has come across a new job listing for an executive producer that reveals key details about the project, including the fact that it is based on a DC Comics IP and utilizes a live service model. Now, the chances are this is probably going to be a DC hero shooter in the vein of Marvel Rivals,
Right.
and under normal conditions. Well, there is really no normal conditions for this. Under other conditions, this would be exciting.
Right.
But it's being made by WB Montreal. And it's not because WB Montreal are bad devs or I don't like them or something. It's because they are a single player action game studio who actively wants to make single player action games and keeps getting their pitches for single player action games set in the DC universe shot down. Instead, they were forced to make Gotham Knights. DC and WB's first attempt at a multiplayer game that failed horrifically. And their, second attempt with another single player action developer, Rocksteady, who made the Batman Arkham games, with a Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League, also failed. So, like a DC horror shooter is not a bad idea. Everybody wants that, especially after Marvel Rivals. But get literally anybody else to make it. Literally
Right.
anybody else. Marvel
Anybody else.
Marvel got a studio known for making live service games to make Rivals, not a studio that already failed to make a multiplayer game. Also, I keep saying it, but WB is really dropping the ball with their IPs, and it sucks.
Yeah.
Especially as a person who loves DC, and I just want anything. I keep saying they should make smaller and cheaper games with quicker turnaround times to hold us over, us starving fans while we wait for the big AAA games. Because I don't need
Right.
all my superhero games to be Spider-Man or Arkham. I want some. I will
Exactly.
take something smaller, especially if it's about a character that would never get a game.
Right.
But like I said, I do want a DC hero shooter in the vein of Rivals. And I
Mhm.
even have a pitch for how they could make it stand out from Rivals in Overwatch. And years ago on the podcast, I tried to start a segment called Choose Your Character, where we create rosters for fighting games. And we only did one episode, and that episode was for Injustice 3. So maybe it's time to bring it back with this DC game. And maybe also do one for Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls. Which, speaking of which, Evo is happening right now as we speak. The
Wow.
biggest fighting game tournament in the world. And a bunch of people have been able to get their hands on Tokon Fighting Souls. And Arc System Works released a beginner's guide video breaking down how the game is played on YouTube. And it seems to be a combination of every fighting game Arc System Works has ever made, according to Maximilian Dude on YouTube. And it incorporates Smash Bros. Like controls as an option at the very least, which a lot of modern fighting games do. Street Fighter 6 has done it as well to make it more accessible for new players, and to just make it easy for them to hop in and just press buttons and be able to have fun with any character. It has auto combos, and like in Smash Bros, you can do direction based attacks. And
That's nice.
yeah, it's nice to see them, trying to be like, fighting games are so niche. You have to try really hard to like make it easy for people to just hop in and play for a little bit. Um,
Hmm.
I'm not the most knowledgeable about fighting games to like get into the weeds, but it looks cool. And hopefully this does what Rivals did with hero shooters for me, which is,
Hmm.
gives me a fighting game to consistently play. Like I have Rivals as my hero shooter to consistently play.
Right.
And the art style for this just looks awesome. And taking all these
Yeah.
characters and animifying them, turning Iron Man into a goddamn Gundam.
Yeah.
Which, like Marvel, what are you doing? Like they refuse to make like any like cartoons really. They make a couple.
Right.
They had what if they just did the Black Panther joint, but they should be doing way more. And they got that Spider-Man one. And
For
why haven't
sure.
you made just an Iron Man mech anime? Just do it. People would like that. I want that. Give it to me.
The demand is there. Right.
But yeah, speaking of Rivals, we got a trailer for Blade, and a roadmap for season 3.5. But we're gonna focus on Blade. I sent you the trailer. And
You did.
Blade looks like a character straight out of a character action game, specifically Devil May Cry. And he has several direct references to Virgil from Devil May Cry. His ultimate is very similar to a move called Judgment Cut. Judgment Cut from Devil May Cry, where Virgil dashes forward and does the anime thing of drawing his sword so fast that we only see him holster it, and then a trail of cuts are left behind him. That is Blade's ultimate.
Right.
And then the theme song that we hear in that initial season 3 trailer, that was heavily inspired by the club music from the beginning of the first Blade movie. It plays when every time he does his ultimate. um, Also, he even says "bury the light" at the end of the ultimate, which is a direct
Insane.
reference to Devil May Cry. It is the name of Virgil's theme in Devil May Cry 5. It's a great song, by the way. And
Insane.
the vocalist for that song actually um, does sings on one of my favorite songs in Clay Obscure Exposition 33. Um,
Oh wow.
yeah. Yeah, Blade also has a shotgun that does an insane amount of damage at mid range, but not nearly as much at close range or far range. So he has a dash attack that he could dash with his sword, and continue attacking with his sword. Or if he dashes with his shotgun, he'll push you into that mid range so that he could do more damage. Um, but his sword is like the main damage dealer. And he has an ability that sends him into a sword only mode. And as he does damage, a gauge increases to a maximum of 10, and it increases his attack speed, allowed him to do an insane amount of damage as a result. And lastly, he has a block where he can block with his sword, and it reduces incoming damage from the front by 75%. But it has a little gauge on it that has to recharge after it runs out. And he releases next Friday, August 8th. So I'm excited. I'm gonna be playing Blade. I'm gonna be out here killing all the healers. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a good time. But yeah, last but certainly not least, there was a Nintendo Direct partner showcase.
Yes.
And we're gonna talk about a few of the things that were there. If we're being real, it was alright. It wasn't that much good stuff.
Yeah.
But there are a few things to talk about. First, Persona 3 Reload is coming to Switch 2
Yeah.
on October 23rd.
Yeah.
Before Persona 5 Royal, which is weird. But I'm sure it's only a matter of time before Royal comes.
Yeah.
And Metaphor.
Royal is on Switch 1, isn't it?
No, Royal? No. Only the original.
Yeah, it is.
It is it? Why do
Yeah, Royal's on Switch 1.
Really? Why they lied
I have
to me.
it.
Somebody lied to me. Someone told me it wasn't on there.
No, it's on there. I have it.
Oh, well,
I've been playing it.
Well, that person was just wrong. They convinced
Very.
me that it wasn't on Switch for some reason. Because I was like, why is the Reload on Switch 2 before Royal? Why? And then, you know what? If I thought about it 5 seconds longer, I would have realized that's stupid.
Right. No worries.
But it's only a matter of time before Metaphor at the very least.
Oh, for sure.
And I can only imagine they'll try to have Persona 6 and 4 revival is what they're calling it.
I think
probably
they could have gone with a much better. There's better titles out there.
They could have called it rerun, because revival implies
They definitely could have called
revival
it
implies it's a sequel.
right.
This isn't a sequel; it's a remake. So rerun makes more sense because you're running it back.
Right. And also the TV thing, it's whatever, man. Just very low expectations for that game. But
I mean,
I'm
not me,
also like
because I played 3 Reload and I liked it, but I also didn't play the original.
yeah,
So
no, it's not
I'll enjoy it.
it's not a thing of like it being like a remake of Persona 4. It's just I have a very low opinion of Persona 4 in general.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's bleak, but maybe they'll prove me wrong. Maybe.
Maybe this version you'll like more.
Yeah, hopefully.
Next, we have Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. We got another trailer, but no release date, weirdly enough.
Hmm.
Also, well, never mind. This is a partner showcase because I was about to say, "Where's Metroid?" But this was partner showcase. But also, where's Metroid?
Yeah.
When
No.
is that game coming out? Why are they being so cagey about it? You can't even give us a window. Like they're being real weird about the release of this game. Y'all better have some big Metroid event or something. Because why won't you tell us? Um, but yeah, they
Are you
keep
hiding from us, Nintendo?
they keep saying that this game is canon, but they said the same thing
Mhm.
about the last one, and it wasn't. So hopefully this one is actually canon because I actually want to see what
Right.
that story of what she was doing during everything actually is like,
Right.
as opposed to this alternate history thing that they did with the last one, which was weird. When it could have just been it could have just been canon,
Canon, yeah.
but we'll see. Next we have The New Dawn, which was surprising. The upcoming Dead Space inspired survival horror game from Silent Hill 2 remake devs, Bloober Team, is surprisingly coming to Switch 2 day and date on September 5th. In the last few weeks, there's been a stream of previews from an event held in the Eastern European town that the environment of the game is based on. And it sounds really good. The only bad thing I've heard is that the resource management isn't great. And apparently, a lot of the journalists who went out there to play it, like, just straight up didn't have enough resources to beat the boss. Like, not that they weren't good enough to beat the boss, they just straight up didn't have enough
Didn't
ammo
have
to
the.
kill the boss,
Oh
which is like
man.
something I hope that they fix and they don't think is a feature to make it hard. I'm like, no,
Right.
there's a reason that every game ever, or especially survival horror games like Dead Space and Resident Evil, where like you're about to fight a boss because they will give you a lot of ammo.
Resource. Right. Or like Signalis does this really creative thing. Where they'll like hide resources in the boss arenas, but they make
Yeah,
sense to be
that
there.
a lot of games do
Like
that as well.
the first boss you fight in like a medical ward, and there's like med packs and like strewn about ammo. It's really neat. I like when they do that rather than like flooding you with resources beforehand,
Yeah,
because it adds like an extra bit of strategy to me.
yeah, Metal Gear does that. I think Metal Gear does both. The first one, I think all of them do it, but especially
Mm-hmm.
the first one is the one that pops in my mind. Where when you're fighting bosses, usually there's resources around the arena. But yeah, this game looks awesome, and there's this mechanic where there's different enemy types, of course, but they can merge, and you have to try and stop them from merging. Otherwise, when they merge, the enemy types will fuse their abilities together. So the different abilities that
That's
each
sick.
enemy type has will, when they merge, they both have both of those abilities. And I'm like, I'm low-key going to let them merge because that sounds fun. I want to fight
Right.
I want to fight that enemy. But I'm sure there'll probably be like some pre-built enemies that are already like pre-merged sometimes. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they surprised us with the Silent Hill 2 remake, which everybody was very wary of, but then it came out and everybody loved it. Including, hardcore Silent Hill fans. So I'm excited for something more original from them. Next we have Shinobi Art of Vengeance, which had a demo as well that I played. And it is awesome. It's so good.
Nice.
Side-scrolling ninja action game fans are eating good this year. Because we're getting them in two different flavors. With Ragebound, it's much more similar to the old school style of ninja action games with very simple controls and abilities. Therefore, it focuses more on precision use of those abilities and platforming to fight your way through each
Mm-hmm.
level. Whereas Shinobi Art of Vengeance is very much an evolution of the genre. It feels like a modern version of that, where there's way more depth to the combat, where you can unlock various different abilities and combos and special abilities. Like in Ragebound, you run, you slice, you jump, you hit an enemy while jumping, you jump higher, and that's about it. And there's a few other mechanics that I think I'm going to be introduced to in the next level. that like add some
Mhm.
projectiles and switching between two characters, but nothing revolutionary for the genre. Whereas Shinobi Art of Vengeance
Right.
is trying to damn near revolutionize the genre, and they're doing a lot of really
Mhm.
different stuff that kind of really helps bring the genre forward. And that's not to necessarily say that that makes it better, because I'm actually kind of prefer the simplicity of Ninja Gaiden, but I am
Right.
still excited for the more modern and complex take on the genre from Shinobi, which is releasing real soon,
Yeah.
the end of the month, August 29th, which
Oh wow.
is that might be the same day or the day before Metal Gear Snake Eater, the Metal Gear Delta Snake Eater comes out, which is unfortunate for that game because it is not going to get played if that happens.
Looking it up.
Yep, day before. Metal Gear Solid. It
Oh,
comes out August
yikes.
28th. That's so unfortunate for you, Shinobi. You gonna have to wait till
Rest in peace, Shinobi.
like
Yeah.
the month later. I'm probably gonna run through Metal Gear though. But like games that I like, I'm probably gonna play it twice in a row. So Shinobi gonna have to wait. Next up, we have The Adventures of Elliot, the Millennium Age. From the creators of Octopath Traveler, Bravely Default, and Triangle Strategy comes a new HD 2D RPG with real time combat, which is what made this
Wow.
game interesting to me. In a corner of a continent overrun with beast tribes, the kingdom of Huther is humanity's sole bastion, kept safe by a magic barrier. After the discovery of hereto unknown ruins, the adventurer Elliot and his fairy sidekick Faye brave the dangers outside the kingdom on a journey spanning not only the continent, but its thousand-year history. Open new paths as you explore
Wow.
this untamed continent and reveal the world's mysteries or mysterious history. Enjoy intuitive and rewarding action-based battle with a healthy dose of strategic support abilities from a fairy. Herein are intertwined. Herein are intertwined the fates of one adventurer and one fairy. It is time to unravel the threads of history. And there's a demo out right now, but unfortunately, I didn't have time to play it. I was going to because I was like, I played the Shinobi demo. Let me play this other demo, but I think I got tired. Took a nap. I took a mean nap. It was wild. I woke up. I went took a nap like 4:15. Woke up. It was 6:30. I was like, what the hell?
Oh wow.
I, that wasn't a nap. I was asleep. Um,
Leap. Yeah.
yeah, and then I got up and like ate dinner, and then like played the game a little bit more. But yeah, that was wild. But yeah, I didn't get to check this demo out. But if I play it before next episode, I'll insert my thoughts here. But what did you think of the trailer?
I thought the trailer was really neat. I love Bravely Default. I don't know if I've talked about it on the podcast before. I probably have. I love Bravely Default. I still need to play Triangle Strategy, but to see another game come out from these devs and it's real time action, I'm like, that's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Most RTS games, I'm like, I'm kind of iffy on, but this one, I'm excited for. Mostly because I love Bravely Default. I'm whipped, and I'll fully come out and
Yeah,
say
you
it.
gotta you gotta
So yeah, I'm.
you gotta talk to Dan because, like I've said in like a episode not too long ago, Dan is in these types of games, and I sent this trailer to him, and I also
Mhm.
sent him the trailer for the next game we're going to talk about, Octopath Traveler Zero, um,
Yes.
which The Adventures of Elliot will be Switch 2 exclusive, but Octopath Traveler Zero will
Oh,
be on both Switch 1 and Switch 2.
I
And
gotta get a Switch too, and soon.
yeah, especially before that price goes up.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, Dan loves these types of games, which is wild. If you if you listening were to know Dan, you'd be surprised to hear it. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, when I sent him the trailers, he ended up going. He was so excited that he went and watched the whole direct,
Oh
and
wow.
then he saw Persona 3, and the weird thing is he doesn't like Persona, but he saw Persona 3 Reload and was like, that looks interesting, which surprised me because he does not like Persona 5. But
Mm,
something about Persona 3 caught his eye, and I'm curious if he'll play it.
mm,
Unfortunately, it's only on Switch 2, but
yeah.
maybe he'll play the original. I don't know. But
Yeah.
yeah, this you got to talk to Dan about he does not like Bravely Default. He likes
Really?
Octopath, he likes Triangle Strategy. He does not like Bravely Default. To him, it is an off-brand Final Fantasy.
I mean, yeah, it kind of is, but I don't know. Something about Bravely Default is just so charming to me because it's like it feels like the first Final Fantasy to me, like what that was
Hmm,
trying to accomplish, but
yeah.
on 3DS. Like, it's charming to me, and I like the art style a lot, but I get why he thinks of it that way because it's kind of true.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited to try out Adventures of Elliot because I've been meaning to want to try one of these like HD 2D games, but none of them have really interested me. But this one, with its kind of like almost Zelda style combat,
Mm-hmm.
has me interested. And I didn't mean to ask. I kind of glossed over it. You have any interest in Shinobi Art of Vengeance or Ninja Gaiden Ragebound? Because they're both made by developers that you like. Actually, Ninja Gaiden is made by the Game Kitchen, the devs that made
Mm-hmm.
Blasphemous and Blasphemous 2. And
Right.
Shinobi is made by the devs that made Streets of Rage 4.
Right. Yeah, I definitely have a little interest. I'm probably gonna play the demo, especially for Shinobi, and see if I actually like it or not. Because like I have interest, but I also get frustrated by those kinds of games really
Yeah,
easily.
that's fair.
Um, yeah, but they
Luckily,
are on
the
my docket.
checkpoint systems in both are pretty generous.
Okay, good, good,
They're
good,
not
good.
arcade games or like old Nintendo games, so it's not like you have 3 lives and you have to
Yeah.
start the whole level over. No, you just start from the checkpoint.
Okay, good. That was the part that I was the most worried about. I
So you can
can't lie
just
to you.
bash your head
But
against the wall until you figure it out without having to
good,
start all the
good.
way from the beginning.
That makes me feel
Also,
better
with
about it.
Ninja
So yeah, I'll
Gaiden,
definitely
I think with
do.
both actually, there are checkpoints right before the boss. So you don't have to
Oh, sick.
replay a section of the level to get back to the boss. You just go straight from the beginning of the boss.
Sick. Okay,
Which
good.
I hate. I hate that Souls games don't do that. Most like
Yeah,
there's
no.
some bosses that will let you start from like right in front of the boss, like there's a bonfire or a site of grace near it. But
Mm,
most of the time, you have to fight through a bunch of enemies just to get to the boss again. I'm like, bro, the boss is already hard as balls.
kicking my
Why
ass,
do
right?
I need to also have to navigate through hell just to get back there?
And that's the problem I'm having with Bloodborne right now because there I don't think there's a checkpoint like before the cleric beast. So I have to fight my way and get mauled by 17 dogs and giant rats only to get to the boss and have it squish me to a pulp immediately. It's insane.
Yeah,
That's like I play games like that and I'm like you like people who are into Souls like you play this willingly and get enjoyment out
masochist.
of it? How? Exactly.